Visalis is prosperity. And one of the things about prosperity, guys, is putting yourself in a position so that you can wake up every single day with your kids. You can take them to school. You can play with them when you want to. You can pick them up from school. You can have lunch with them there. You get to choose. You get to choose parenthood on your terms. How many of you out there would love to choose parenthood on your terms? Well, I think, Gia, do you want to say hi to everybody? Say hi, everybody.
Hi, everybody.
Wave. Want to say anything else? Say, I love you guys.
I love you guys.
She said, I love you guys. Guys, I would love for every single one of you guys to be able to experience parenthood on your terms. Prosperity is first about you getting your head above water. It's about becoming an entrepreneur and doing what it takes, learning the necessary skill set, building the necessary disciplines, consistencies, so that you can free yourself from whoever it is that has the keys. The person that has the keys to your shackles. Starting at 5 years old, you've been told where to be, when to be there, how to dress, when you could eat, what to do when you were there, and when you could go home. 96% of all Americans have lived that life since they were 5. Prosperity is about reclaiming your time freedom. It's about being an entrepreneur who decides where, when, who, and how. Prosperity does not necessarily mean you have to be rich. You don't have to be a millionaire. You don't have to be somebody that has all the wealth in the world to simply live your life on your terms. How many of you guys would just simply love to choose whether or not you want to work on Monday or Wednesday or Saturday or the evening or the morning? Who would love to just have those choices? Here's what's crazy. What's crazy is you will spend the first segments of your Visalis career working diligently to free yourself. You will work diligently to free yourself. How many of you will work diligently to free yourself? Let me hear you if you will work diligently to free yourself. But you know what's crazy? The rest of your career, this is real life. This is real life. The rest of your career, all you do is free other people. That's it. First, you free yourself, and then you spend the rest of your career freeing other people. And what's more intriguing is your prosperity, your financial freedom will increase by a multitude, by a multiplier, by the amount of people who you will free, the amount of people that you will cut loose, the amount of people that you allow them to live life on their terms. If you want to be a millionaire, it's a pretty simple math equation. You need to help a handful of people own their life back, to be in charge, and to live life on their terms. That's it. You need to find a half a dozen, 10, 12 families that you will stop at nothing to see their success. That you will stop at nothing to see them be able to be a parent when they choose to. You have to decide that you will be a leader who will stop at nothing to allow every person you can achieve their dreams. And if you will do that, there is zero limitation to the prosperity that you can have. I mean, I look at the stories of the people that we have here and the stories that I have behind us. People that went from air mattresses in someone else's basement to vie millionaires like Jeremy Gilchrist. People that went from refugees in Laos who were sponsored to come to the United States to vie millionaires like Banzai Sekozy. And hundreds of other stories that happen through the pillar of prosperity. You guys want to know what the third piece of prosperity is? It's about you freeing yourself. It's about you freeing others. Imagine running around and unlocking. Wouldn't that be a great job, just running around and unlocking people? The third piece of prosperity is contribution, giving back, philanthropy. The more that you have, the more that you can give. Money is nothing more than a magnifier. If you're a great person, a lot of money is going to make you a greater person, a bigger giver. If you're a really big jerk, a lot of money is going to make you a really, really, really big jerk. Money is just a magnifier of who you already are. So who are you? Because if you are somebody that wants to contribute, if you are somebody that wants to make an impact, and if you're somebody that wants to give back, man, I would love to give you millions of dollars. How many of you guys, by the sound of noise that you can make in this room, would love to make a difference and contribute at a much higher level in your community and your family? My passion is creating young entrepreneurs. Ashley and I created a foundation where we took $1 million, not somebody else's money, $1 million of our own money, and created a foundation called Next Gen. Stands for Next Generation Entrepreneurs. And what we do is we write checks to organizations and charity partners that have training programs in place through high schools, etc., that train teenagers how to be great entrepreneurs. Well, a couple months ago, I got a phone call from one of my best friends. He said, Nick, I found something that's going to be right up your alley. I got contacted by the local community college. And the local community college in my hometown, they want to open a school of entrepreneurship there. And my buddy John said, you know what I did? I'm going to donate the building. I thought maybe you might be one of the guys that wants to, be the endowment to write the scholarships. So here's what we did. Our foundation wrote a $200,000 check to our local community college. And every single year, the #1 graduate of that school, of that program, will get $10,000 in seed capital to start their own business right there in the local town. That school is now called the Rooks Sarnicola Institute for Entrepreneurial Studies. Ladies and gentlemen, I did not even graduate community college, and today there is one being named after us. That's what's possible. That's what's possible if you will become an entrepreneur who becomes passionate about taking care of your family and other people's family and will contribute at the highest level. Which of you will take ownership of your own life? Which of you in this room right now will take ownership of your own life? Let me hear you if you will take ownership of your own life. Let me hear you if you will take ownership of your own life. Let me hear you if you will give back. Let me hear you if you will give back to others, if you will contribute, if you will make a difference. Ladies and gentlemen, Visalis is prosperity.
Hello, my name is Bill Nissen. I'm a pastor in Cedar Rapids, Iowa. You know, and sometimes it is lonely being a dreamer. And I was given a vision from my dad, not my biological dad, my heavenly dad. And I knew what I needed to do. The most precious thing you can experience, something that Blake said in the past so many times, is the two most important days in your life are the day you're born and the day you discover why. And I knew why. But then you try to match that up. And sometimes what happens is some of you have dreams and callings from the Lord that you go out and you start to bring it out, and people just can't match up with it because it doesn't fit with what's the norm today. And that was kind of my story. I knew I was going to be in full-time ministry. I've been in full-time ministry since 1993. But after a while, you get the environment around you wanting to kind of shave a little bit of yourself off so that you fit the compartment that they've created. Now, that's not just in church. That's, some of you relate to that as far as your work situation, right? Well, that's great, Bill. Well, I'm so glad you're so zealous for the Lord. Here's what you can do here. And after a while, you start to realize, you know what? I was not created to be an echo. I was created to be a voice. And the things the Lord put in my heart to do aren't things that are designed in the way we fund ministry in America. And I knew I needed an option. And I tell you, I did a lot of research on Visalis with this friend of mine who introduced me to it. And it wasn't because I was really business oriented. It was because I was scared to death of ruining my reputation. What would people think about Bill, a pastor doing network marketing? There's still those people rolling their eyes. Roll away. Because here's the reality. I started in this tentatively, timidly, because I was scared to death. But in 20 months, we were able to create a business that freed me up to give my salary back to the church. And pastor for free. See, because like the Apostle Paul, I wanted to be unencumbered and be able to minister the gospel at no charge so that I could truly reveal that which I was created to be, not what others wanted me to be. Being a dreamer can be a lonely place unless you find a culture and a community that allows you to dream. And you have found that place here. Not only do they allow you to dream, but they're crying out for you to dream. Some of you will leave here this weekend inspired until you run into some of those people rolling their eyes at you. And all I can say to you is, when are you going to allow what God called you to be your strongest voice, instead of all those around there that have no idea why you're put on this planet? I found a place that's allowed me to be congruent with what God called me to be. And that is, so it's allowed me to minister the gospel no charge, be able to do a business where I make money for my family by feeding the poor and helping people restore their body as the temple of the Holy Spirit in good health. This is a gift, and it's here to allow you to prosper. Do not allow fear. Do not allow what other people would think of you to rob you of walking in who you were created to be. Visalis is prosperity.
Hi everyone, my name is Keith Simpson. I'll give you a quick background. I was a school social worker. My husband is a police officer. We were a very middle income family. I'm a mom of 4, loved being with my kids, decided to stay home, and things were tight. I'm not sure if anyone in this room has felt that way, where you're living paycheck to paycheck, you don't know where the next dime is coming from, but we had gotten to that point. I was faced with going back to work unless we didn't want our kids to be able to do activities anymore. So we went ahead and Visalis came across my lap and I started with it and things were good. Let me tell you, I went from the minivan with the big dent in the side to BMW. I went from going on no vacations to next thing I know I'm flying a family of 6 to Disney World and things are great, right? Was ambassador within 10 months and I'm about 2 years into my business and things are like they hadn't been for us ever. And all of a sudden, overnight, my life was changed. I got the diagnosis of breast cancer. And let me tell you, it was a big shock. And having to go home and tell my kids the hardest thing I've ever had to do. And when my kids looked me in the face and asked me if I was gonna die, I told them to trust me. I said, I got this, do you trust me? And they all told me, yes, Mommy, we trust you. My youngest was 6, my oldest had just turned 11. So I was gonna be on a mission to do whatever I had to do to beat this. And I was on a mission to do it without scaring my kids. So if that meant that I had to get up and get them ready for school every day, and if it meant that I was gonna drive them to their activities still, and I was gonna be on the football sideline still cheering, I was gonna make sure I did that. The reason that I could is because I could sleep and rest during the day while they were at school, because I stepped away from my Visalis business. For over a year, guys, over a year I stepped away, and I got paid week after week, month after month, a salary that most people going to work full-time are not even making. And I was able to get myself well. I was able to focus on being strong, so when my kids walked in the door, I could have a smile on my face and be showered and say, let's go, baby, we're going to football. But I'll tell you what, if I had a full-time job and was trying to go through chemo and radiation, there was no way I would have been able to do that. And I had a very good friend who was going through chemo at the same time as me, and she had a full-time job. She used to call me all the time walking into work crying, Kim, I don't know how I'm gonna make it through today. If that is not prosperity, if that is not this company giving us financial freedom, guys, I was working this business 2 years, only 2 years I was working, and it allowed me to walk away for over a year and get well. If this can do that for me, that is the biggest gift that I have ever gotten, was to be able to do that. To me, that's definitely prosperity with Visalis.
My name is Linda Croy. When we started this journey 5.5 years ago, we were old, sick, and broke. Now we're just old. When I say broke, I mean dead broke. Over $100,000 in debt, major health issues, catastrophic, a failed business, our savings was gone. Heck, I ought to write a country song. I went to a bankruptcy attorney just to find out what our options were, and she hit me right between the eyes. She said, you and your husband are gonna die in debt. And I said, well, we're gonna get jobs. We're gonna try. And she said, you'll never make a dent at your age. You have no choice. Come back on Monday and bring me all your information. I never went back. The next morning, we're sitting at our kitchen table filling out job applications. Me for Belk's, Dale for Lowe's. He didn't want to be the Walmart greeter. And, and the phone rang. I said, Dale, don't answer it. It's just creditors, and they always call me bad names. But the person on the other end of the phone wasn't a creditor. It was someone we loved very, very much. His name was Kyle Passetti. That night, we were in Visalis, and when he left, Dale said, did you tell Kyle we don't have $500? I said, nope. He said, do we have $500? I said, nope. He said, are we going to get $500? I said, I'll find it. Now, you see, I was drawing my social insecurity check. And my little piddly retirement check. Now, I'd worked 44 years for the government, and I had $1,300 a month in pension. 7 days into the business, we went regional director, and the following Monday, we got a check for $1,500. 44 years, $1,300. 7 days, $1,500. There is something really bad wrong with that picture. Fast forward 5.5 years, $1.6 million. We no longer live in that little duplex that Kyle came to see us. Our golden years are no longer tarnished. We take those retirement checks and we can now give them away every month and bless other people. Guys, I don't tell you our earnings to impress you, but just to impress upon you that a couple in their 70s can do this, you absolutely can too. Ladies and gentlemen, prosperity and Visalis go hand in hand. Thank you so much.
Y'all sit down and relax. There's a cute little clock down here. It's gone to 0 3 times. I'm not here to amuse you. I'm not here to entertain you. I'm here, hopefully, to provoke within you a fervent desire to be beyond where you are now in finances and in your future. You all made your way here to Kansas City, except for those that live here. And you came here with the intent, I assume, to build some sort of a raging fire within your chest that takes you on to success in Visalis. Because you see, Visalis is success if you will do exactly as it says. Don't do what I did. Don't do what I did. I sold out to the 40-year plan. That's where you fiddle around and get you a good education and prepare yourself for your career. And in so doing, you then expect time to pass as you climb the ladder of success, hopefully. And in the end, be able to then retire and live out the balance of your life in peace and dignity. Now, that's what this thing's all about. But the point is that so many of you, like me, sold out to the wage mentality where you don't control what you make. But with Visalis, if you will just recognize what you've got your hands on. This isn't a kid's game, fellas and ladies. This is business. This makes a difference in your life. When Carl Passetti visited my home, I got 19 seconds. And he said to me, he said, I believe in you, whereas I did not believe in myself because I was beaten and broken because I had sold out to this 40-year plan that is a myth. Now weigh that. Guys, I'm as old as dirt. The point is this. I don't want any of you to make the same mistake that I made when you have got your hands on the key to success. The money tree is right around you. The goose that laid the golden egg is in your lap. All you have to do is make a decision to build a residual income for yourself and your family, an income that goes beyond your lifespan, to build equity for the generational income that's within you. All of that creates a decision on your part. Now I'll tell you, I don't know if you're going to do what I encourage you to do. God knows I hope you do. But I know one thing. In about 6 weeks, I'll be 80 years old. What are you clapping for? That's incredulous. I used to think that 80 was just one foot in the grave and the other was trying to find your way out of the grave. But I'm going to tell you something. You can have what we have, what Nick has, what Blake has, what Ryan has, what Kyle has, what everyone who has tasted the sweet taste of success. Ladies and gentlemen, prosperity is Visalis. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, Visalis is life. Visalis is life. And Visalis is. Thank you guys so much.